Your faith is your fortune, by Neville Goddard. Chapter 7. Thy will be done. Not my will, but thine be done. Luke 22:42. Not my will, but thine be done. Luke 22:42. O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done. Matthew 26:42. Nevertheless, not what I will, but what thou wilt. Mark 14:36. This resignation is not one of blind realization that I can of myself do nothing. The Father within me, He doeth the work. I can of mine own self do nothing. As I hear, I judge, and my judgment is just, because I seek not mine own will, but the will of the Father, which hath sent me. John 5:30. Believest thou not that I am in the Father, and the Father in me? The words that I speak unto you, I speak not of myself, but the Father that dwelleth in me, He doeth the work. John 14:10. When man wills, he attempts to make something which does not exist appear in time and space. Too often we are not aware of that which we are really doing. We unconsciously state that we do not possess the capacities to express. We predicate our desire upon the hope of acquiring the necessary capacities in future time. I am not, but I will be. Man does not realize that consciousness is the Father which does the work, so he attempts to express that which he is not conscious of being. Such struggles are doomed to failure. Only the present expresses itself. Unless I am a conscious being, that which I seek, I will not find it. God, your awareness, is the substance of fullness of all. God's will is the recognition of that which is not of that which will be. Instead of saying this saying as thine will be done, see it as thy will is done. The works are finished. The principle by which all things are made visible is eternal. Eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, neither hath it entered into the hearts of men the things which God hath prepared for those who love the law. Eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither hath entered into the heart of men the things which God hath prepared for them that love Him. Corinthians 2:9-10. When a sculptor looks at the formless piece of marble, he sees, buried within its formless mass, his finished piece of art. The sculptor, instead of making his masterpiece, merely reveals it by removing that part of the marble which hides its conception. The same applies to you. In your formless awareness lies buried all that you will ever conceive yourself to be. The recognition of this truth will transform you from an unskilled laborer who tries to make it so to a great artist who recognizes it to be so. Your claim that you are now that which you want to be will be removed, the veil of human darkness, and reveal your claim perfectly. I am that. Man's will would have been, it will be well. To state I shall be well is to say I am healed. God the Eternal now is not mocked by words or vain repetition. God continually personifies that which is. Thus, the resignation of Jesus, who made Himself equal with God, was turning from the recognition of lack, which the future indicates with I shall be, to the recognition of supply by claiming I am that. It is done. Thank you, Father. Now you will see the wisdom in the words of the prophet when he states, let the weak say, I am strong. Joel 3:10. Man, in his blindness, will not heed the prophet's advice. He continues to claim himself to be weak, poor, wretched, and all the other undesirable expressions from which he is trying to free himself by ignorantly claiming that he will be free from these characteristics in the expectancy of the future. Such thoughts thwart the one law that can ever free him. There is only one door through which that which you seek can enter your world. I am the door, John 10:9. When you say I am, you are declaring yourself to be first person present tense, that there is no future. To know that I am is to be conscious of being. Consciousness is the only door. Unless you are conscious of being that which you seek in vain. If you judge after appearances, you will continue to be enslaved by the evidence of your senses. To break this hypnotic spell of the senses, you are told, go within and shut the door. But when thou prayest, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father which sitteth in secret shall reward thee openly. Matthew 6:6. Enter thou into thy chambers, and shut thy doors about thee. Hide thyself, and eat word for a little moment, until the indignation be overpast. Isaiah 26:20. And when thou art come in, thou shalt shut the door upon thee and upon thy sons. Kings 4:4. He went in therefore and shut the door upon them twain and prayed unto the Lord. Kings 4:33. The door of the senses must be tightly shut before your new claim can be honored. Closing the door of the senses is not as difficult as it appears to be at first. It is done without effort. It is impossible to serve two masters at the same time. Matthew 6:24, Luke 16:13. The master man served is that he is conscious of being, I am the Lord and master of that which I am conscious of being. It is no effort for me to conjure poverty if I am conscious of being poor. My servant, poverty, is compelled to follow me, conscious of poverty, as long as I am the Lord, conscious of being poor. Instead of fighting against the evidence of your senses, you claim yourself to be that which you desire to be. As your attention is placed on this claim, the doors of the senses automatically close against your former master, that which you were conscious of being. As you become lost in the feeling of being, that which you are now claiming to be true of yourself, the doors of the senses are once more open, revealing your world to be the perfect expression of that which you are conscious of being. Let us follow the example of Jesus, who realized as man he could do nothing to change his present picture of lack. He closed the door of his senses against his problem and went to his Father, the one to whom all things are possible. Matthew 9:26, Mark 9:23, 10:27, 14:36, Luke 18:27, Acts 8:37. Having denied the evidence of his senses, he claimed himself to be all that a moment before his senses told him he was not. Knowing that consciousness expresses its likeness on earth, he remained in the claimed consciousness until the doors, his senses, opened and confirmed the rulership of the Lord. Remember, I am is Lord of all. Never again use the will of man which claims I will be, but as resigned as Jesus and claim I am dead. End of this chapter. Wow, guys, this was and is an amazing chapter. It really is. We have a few things to I apologize. We have a few things to unfold. First of all, yes, you do not affirm in the future. It's very, very simple and very, very easy to understand. Why do we not affirm the future? As Neville Goddard said, when you say I shall be, I will be, you are affirming that you are lacking it right now. Therefore, you are not living in the end. It's really as simple as that. If you say I am wealthy, you are conscious of being wealthy right now, which is the way you imprint your subconscious mind. When you say I will be wealthy, you impress your subconscious mind by saying that you are not wealthy right now. Remember, guys, the exercise, I remember when. When you say I remember when I was poor, you are affirming that you are not poor right now. Because you are affirming that you used to be poor. I remember when I was poor. You used to be poor, and now you're not. So you pretty much say, I remember when I was poor, now I am wealthy. So you are affirming that you are wealthy. Words are important. So when you say I shall be, it's lack. When you say I remember when, you are affirming that you are not lacking that which you were lacking in the past. In this case, being poor. Money, wealth, material gains, etc., etc. So that's number one. When you affirm, you always affirm in the present tense. Now the second thing, he said, and he gave the example of being poor. When you say I am poor and you are conscious of being poor, and you're already in the consciousness of being poor, there's no conflict, because you are conscious of being poor with your conscious mind, and even your subconscious mind is also imprinted with the consciousness of being poor. So there's no conflict. That's why he says that there is no conflict, and it is easy when both of them are aligned. But what you want to be aligned is aligned with the things that you want. So in this situation, when this person says, I am poor, he sees that he is poor, and he is also conscious of being poor. So both the conscious mind and the subconscious mind are aware of this poorness. So what this person needs to do to remove this consciousness of being poor is through the conscious mind being shut. He says to himself, and he denies what the conscious mind has seen. But because the conscious mind right now is shut, because we are in a drowsy state, in a reverie state, in a state akin to sleep, we can imprint the subconscious mind because we forego the senses and go directly to the subconscious mind. So when we decree and affirm, when you go to thy closet and pray to your Father in silence and be rewarded in public, it means that you shut down the senses. You go in this state akin to sleep, in this drowsy state, you affirm, you visualize, you script, and then you imprint your subconscious mind. And you do it for a while, and sure enough, your conscious mind will not react the same way right now to the reality you have. Because even though your reality is still poor, for example, you will not react the same because you have imprinted the subconscious mind, the Father, which is much more powerful. The subconscious mind is so much more powerful than the conscious mind. So when you have imprinted the subconscious mind correctly, when you went to the eye closet and prayed to your Father in silence, you will be rewarded in public. So the poor reality will change to the wealthy reality. But even in the span of time between your poor reality becoming your wealthy reality, you would not react so much to your current poor reality because you know it to not be true. Because why? Not through some intellectual process of thinking. No, simply because you have imprinted the subconscious mind with the consciousness of being wealthy. So now you are faithful to this consciousness and this awareness of being wealthy subconsciously. Therefore, your conscious mind and what your sense tell you, what your sense are denying, will not have this effect. It will feel neutral. You would not see your reality as something that is necessarily the truth, because you understand, again, not through process of intellectual thinking, but just because of its naturalness, you will feel that the desire that you had before, the lack you had before, is now something you have. Because your imagination, your I amness, is the thing that precedes the reality you will see with your eyes. So once you, through a natural process, become aware that your imagination is God, the things you see, whether good or not, will not be so important, because you understand that what you imprint on your subconscious mind when you pray to your Father and you go to thy closet and pray to your Father in silence will be more important than what you see, if it makes any sense. So what you see is not as powerful as it used to be before, when you were not deliberately manifesting, because you understand that all you need to do is be faithful to your imagination. As Neville Goddard would say, you need to educate people in the training of the imagination and the sustaining of attention. So once you have trained your imagination to imagine only the things you want and also sustain that attention on this imagination, this is where you are powerful and the rest does not matter. Thank you so much for listening. I hope it makes sense. If you need any help, please leave questions in the description box below. If you want more of this type of content, if you want more of this type of content, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you want my help, coaching is available. Thank you so much, and I'll see you very soon.